And we're back. Fuminori wasn't going home, as became obvious when he boarded a train heading in the opposite direction. Koji's next guess was that he was going to see his doctor at the T University Hospital, but Fuminori rode straight through the closest station. At first, Koji felt awfully foolish, rebuked himself for trailing his friend like this, but his conscience fell silent as Fuminori's actions became more mysterious. The stranger it gets, the closer Koji feels to discovering the truth behind Fuminori's sudden transformation. Any knowledge will be welcome, no matter how slight. Even Koji is beginning to think there must be something more behind Fuminori's change than the accident alone. He wants a more satisfying answer, one that'll help him decide whether or not Fuminori can be trusted. Fuminori gets off at a small station in a nondescript suburban area. Koji follows, trying not to lose sight of him amidst the other disembarking passengers. The station is neither a traffic circle nor a shopping center in front of it. The area is quite desolate, possessing only a small bookstore, convenience store, and market. It is easy for Koji to keep Fuminori in view. Fuminori seems to know these streets, clearly intent on a single goal as he hurries through the residential neighborhood. Carved out of the hills, the area has many slopes, and here and there... Wait, where am I? And here and I lost myself. And here and there remain steep inclines and wooded areas that escaped assimilation. Koji, who moved to Tokyo to attend school, is amazed that such a quiet place exists less than an hour out of the city. These look like real pictures that they just, like, put into, like, Photoshop and messed with a little bit.
Like the cartoon eyes filter.
Yeah. It, like, kind of looks Walking Dead game-esque, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can see that.
Kind of cel-shaded. Before long, Fuminori reaches a house without ringing the bell or even knocking on the door. He vanishes inside as though sucked into a vacuum, leaving Koji to wonder how Fuminori can treat the house as his own. Oh, whoops, I hit the wrong button. I hit space. After waiting to see if Fuminori will come back out, Koji approaches the gate and checks the nameplate. Ougai. Koji has never heard of anyone by that name among Fuminori's acquaintances. Next, his attention is drawn to the thick wad of leaflets sticking out of the mail slot, which, coupled with the general dilapidated feel of the place, suggests that it had been long since abandoned. A small playground about 2 blocks away provides an adequate vantage point from which to watch the front of the Ougai home. Unfortunately, it does not appear to be the sort of house that has a rear exit. Chiding himself for not stocking up on cigarettes, Koji settles down on a bench to begin his stakeout. 1 hour passes and then another, but there remains no sign of movement around the Ougai residence as twilight settles upon the neighborhood. After Koji's 1 pack of cigarettes runs out, the stakeout becomes a battle against mounting impatience. He kills time by redialing Omi on his cell and sending her short text messages, but his efforts are as futile as he knew they would be. Pass.
When the sky begins to turn deep blue and the streetlights come on, Fuminori finally emerges from the house and heads back towards the station with the same hurried stride. After some brief consideration, Koji decides that right now investigating the house is more important than tailing Fuminori. He rings the doorbell just to make sure. Receiving the expected silence in response, he checks to make sure no one is watching and turns the doorknob. The door is not locked. The moment he enters the house, thick, stale air fills Koji's nostrils. Redolent of mold and dust, it is the unmistakable smell of a house that has long lain untouched. There is also a faint hint of something indescribable in the air, something reminiscent of damp sewers and fetid cisterns. Cisterns?
Yeah. Oh, I can hear myself again in your mic.
Oh, oops, let me fix that. Is it better?
Yep.
Okay. Flipping the light switch does nothing. The power must be dead or perhaps cut off. Koji uses his oil lighter to illuminate the immediate area. In the thick dust covering the floor, he can clearly see several brand new trails of footprints that could have only been made by shoes. They must be Fuminori's. Showing an equal lack of reservation, Koji also enters with his shoes on. The lighter's flickering flame pushes back the deathly silence and gloom of the house. Koji is surprised to see evidence of life remaining. Everything from furniture to tableware and appliances is intact. Nothing seems to be missing. The thickness of the dust suggests that the house had been empty for several months, which means that the owner must have left with little more than the clothes on his back. Could he have gone on a long vacation? Must have been long if you can see footprints when you walk.
Yeah, so
The
much dust.
calendar in the den is still turned to April. Empty and silent, yet exhibiting signs of life that was once lived there, the house reminds Koji of a passenger ship resting at the bottom of the sea. In the graveyard-like quiet, a sinister thought suddenly runs through his head. No one is living here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the owner left. Maybe he was killed, and his rotting corpse is right under my feet. Oh, wow, that's morbid. Koji finds himself wanting a stronger light. A magnite in his hand would make him feel a lot better.
A what?
Like,
What is that?
I'm not sure what a maglite is, but
Alright, well,
it must be a lot more powerful than a lighter. Following what appears to be Fuminori's footprints, Koji ascends to the second floor, where he begins to catch a scent of paper and stale air in the stale air. It is the smell of old books, instantly familiar to anyone who has worked in an antique bookstore or library.
did you hear a ting, or was that just like...
Oh, that was me. I have to turn that off.
Oh, alright.
But we can pass right now if you
Alright.
want.
The second floor turns out to be a study, its towering shelves packed with such a vast number of books that Koji fears for the stability of the floor. As a medical student himself, he's able to discern at a glance that this study belongs to a medical professional, and a high-level one at that. Judging by the content of the books, a smorgasbord of technical volumes far beyond a simple student, the owner must be more interested in research than clinical medicine. It appears that Fuminori spent most of his time here, the scattered dust making it clear that he was searching for something. He seems to have focused on going through the desk and file cabinet as the contents of their drawers are in obvious disarray. A small pile of books on a side table catches his eye. Being next to the desk, they must have been the most frequently read. What sort of books are they? Could shed some light on the person who worked here. Koji frowns as he examines the three books. The old leather-bound Western tomes are not scientific texts, but rather the kind of books you would expect to see in a glass case at a rare bookstore. The titles are equally mysterious. Trait des chiffres appears to be about semiotics, but Al Magna et Ultima is some kind of treatise on divination. And then there's Voynich manuscript, which appears to be a sort of picture book. When he pages through it, however, he finds line after line of utterly incomprehensible characters. Maybe it's some kind of cipher. Whatever they are, they clearly have nothing to do with medicine, refuting Koji's earlier guess that Mr. Ougai was a doctor. Looking down, Koji suddenly notices the glint of something black and metallic underneath the chair. A pocket-sized mag light, quite out of place among all these dusty books. Fuminori must have brought it in. With slight relief, Koji exchanges his lighter for the mag light. Its tiny body emits a powerful white beam that casts away the darkness. His courage restored, he decides to explore the rest of the house. Koji notices something strange, something that was not visible in the lighter's weak flame. The slime, especially thick on the doorknobs and stair banisters. These are no mere handprints. Dark, slimy stains are everywhere, like someone had their hands wrapped in greasy cloth. Looking closer, he sees what appear to be places where slime was splashed low on the walls and near the floor. It's almost as if a wet mop was run violently across the floor.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does. Did he not notice that? Like when he was, how did like I mean he said the lighter didn't light it up, but wouldn't you like feel any of it when you like opened the door to the
No plot.
office? Okay. Are these more remnants of Ogai's life? No, these marks are much too strange. Begins to feel sick as he finds himself imagining the denizens of this place wandering around with filthy water dripping from its entire body. Pass.
Okay. Finding the bedroom next to the study, Kyoji checks the closet on a hunch. He finds 2 empty suitcases, not what one would leave behind when going on a long vacation. A sudden chill runs through him, so whoever was living here is still somewhere inside the house. Suppressing the urge to flee, Koji goes back downstairs to check the first floor. He should have fled. If he finds a corpse, he'll have to call the police right away. He can get away with trespassing if he reports it first, but if they find the body later, it'll be awfully hard to explain his fingerprints all over the house. The maglite reveals the den to be covered in even more slime than the rest of the house. The sofa looks as though it has been dredged from the bottom of a swamp. In the kitchen, Koji takes one look at the sink and decides not to get any closer. He doesn't want any more fuel for his imagination.
You know, some of these pictures are actually pretty nice. They fit the atmosphere really well.
Mm-hmm. He reaches the door to the bathroom. A common scene from TV dramas flashes through his head. A suicide with slit wrists floating in a bathtub filled with water. And wasn't there a movie where a hitman butchers his victim's body in a bathroom? Koji steels himself and opens the door slowly, shining his light into the ceramic bathtub that appears from the darkness like a white ghost. Oh, this music is great.
Yeah.
Dried flesh and blood clinging to a curved rib bone has turned the inside of the tub black. Koji puts one hand against the wall to steady himself as his legs threaten to buckle. Something is wrong. He realizes as he desperately tries to get his thoughts in order. Bones, but they're too small and there's too many of them. They aren't human. Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, that's alright then.
After taking several deep breaths to calm himself, Kyoji enters the bathroom and examines the tub.
This looks like the perfect image for something to appear behind him.
Oh, like in Corpse Party.
Yeah.
With Yoshiki, yeah.
Yoshikazu?
The tub is half filled with small bones piled on top of each other, like fallen leaves. Too small to be human, they appear to be from some small animals, like dogs, cats, mice, and sparrows. How would he even know sparrows?
That's oddly specific.
Even so, the quantity is mind-boggling. How many corpses would it take to produce this many bones? Shouldn't it be these many. Or this many.
It shouldn't be this many.
The bones have all been separated from each other, and it doesn't appear that the bodies were just thrown into the tub and left to rot. This is made clear by the many groove-like impressions left in each bone, marks left by teeth biting through flesh. Koji's sanity won't let him consider the possibility that a human could have done this. The owner of this house must have been keeping some sort of carnivorous animal as a pet. giving it the bones of small animals to eat, and disposing the remains in the bathtub. Well, that just sounds odd.
That's a weird conclusion.
But why not dispose of the leftovers properly? They could have just been thrown out with the garbage. Or was there something keeping him from leaving this house, or the house? My apologies. You could pass.
The momentary relief Koji felt when he realized that the bones weren't human is once again under attack by the ever-deepening mystery permeating this house. Just what the hell was Fuminori doing here?
どうした、コウジ。
Koji whirls around his pen light. Oh, it's a pen light. That's what that mag light is. His pen light revealing Fuminori's expressionless face.
不法侵入だぞ。
Oh my gosh.
お前だって同じだろうが。
Koji replies, barely managing to speak over the pounding of his heart. Fuminori pushes past Koji and looks nonchalantly into the bathtub as though there's nothing strange about a tub filled with bones.
僕はこの家の人と知り合いなんだ。頼まれて探し物をしに来ただけさ。
知り合いっていつから？一体何者なんだ？
Koji doesn't want to believe that the old, friendly Fuminori could have had contact with the denizens of this house.
いずれお前にも紹介するよ。僕の恩人とも言える人だから。
He says, turning to leave without even looking at Koji.
おい、Fuminori!
Oh my goodness.
With his heart finally beating normally again. Why is it beating? Okay, that's a weird time for it to start beating normally again. Koji runs after Fuminori.
お前まさか近頃様子がおかしいのはその知り合いっていうやつのせいなんじゃ。
Standing in the entrance, Fuminori glares coldly at Koji over his shoulder. The utter lack of emotion in his eyes gives Koji pause.
僕の後をつけてきたんだね、コウジ。
With no possible excuse, Koji can only swallow under Fuminori's piercing stare.
そういうのは迷惑だ。二度とやらないでもらいたい。
ああ。
Fuminori walks away without another word, leaving Koji alone in the entrance. Until this moment, there was still a part of Koji that wanted to consider Sakisaka Fuminori a close friend. Now, however, there is only ice-cold terror. Does the Fuminori he knew no longer exist? Was the person who just stared Koji down an imposter wearing Fuminori's skin? Koji has begun to believe that it might be so. What a nuisance. Why does he insist on interfering if he only spoke with me to exchange pleasantries? Even I could bear it, but for him to stick his neck into my business just to satisfy his curiosity is clearly violating my privacy. Koji's a perfect example of someone who thinks that it's always good to take an interest in other people's affairs. Probably thinks that he's showing concern for me by prying into my personal life. Couldn't be more annoying. If he keeps interfering, I'm gonna have to find some way to deal with him. Like Saya said, I had to keep my search for Professor Ougai as secret as possible. Koji could ruin everything. Saya said there would be nothing to help with the search, but I unexpectedly found many things of value in the professor's house. I didn't have time to fully examine the house today. At this rate, it will probably take several days to go through the study alone. We'll have to go to and from the house a lot, but now Koji knows where it is. We'll keep making things difficult. A hair-raising voice calls as I'm about to enter my gate. Suppressing a shudder, I put on a fake smile and turn to face the writhing mass of rotting flesh that is staring at me with bulging eyes. Ah yes, this is my next-door neighbor, Suzumi, a middle-aged painter, I think, who spends all day at home while his wife works. Suzumi, that's not a very manly name. I haven't had much interaction with him, so why is he suddenly talking to me today?
Hi. おかげさまで。
What is this? Did he stop me just to deliver a lecture?
まあそうですね。苦労してます。でもまだ学生の身ですし、高いのは限りがあるんで、そういう浪費はちょっと。
The flesh beast undulates foully as though it still has something to say. Just looking at it is driving me close to the edge. I don't know why I'm waiting for the voice acting on those.
Those sounds beautiful.
Oh yeah. Pass.
Okay. Now I get it. He's worried that the unsightliness of my house might ruin the beauty of his own. Damn snob. He's gonna send him a very mean letter. Flashing a token smile, I retreat into the safety of my gate. I can feel Suzumi's eyes boring into my back all the way to the front door. Why won't everyone stay out of my life? I want to find a place free of other people, a place where I can live together with Saya. He sounds like a teenager.
Yeah.
Suzumi, how do you say that?
Yosuke.
Yosuke sighs in annoyance as he watches the neighborhood boy retreat into his house. What's with his attitude? Even while talking, he kept his eyes averted, as though he was looking at something filthy. Who's the snob now? Has the eldest son of the Sagisaka family always been such an unpleasant young man? No, of course not. When his parents were still alive, he had been a normal youth, slightly introverted yet sensitive. The unfamiliarity of living alone must be placing stress upon him. If this continues, he might develop mental problems. Or is it too late already? Yosuke wonders as he wearily gazes over the Sakisaka yard. I totally messed that up. I'm sorry. Even during dinner, Yosuke can't shake the neighboring house from his mind.
Oh.
どうしたのあなた難しそうな顔して
今日ね隣の家の息子に会ったよ
お隣のって海のりお兄ちゃん
ああ庭のこと一言言っておいた
そうよねせめてあの匂いだけはどうにかしてもらいたいわよね
The stink coming from the Sakisaka house grows worse each day, and the Suzumi family is at its wit's end.
あの草むらの中に死んだ猫でもいるんじゃないかしらでも住んでいて気づかないのかしらねあの匂いに
No, it's just dead bodies.
まさかとは思うが生ゴミをそのまま庭に捨てているんじゃあるまいな
そんないくらなんでもそこまで
いや今の様子だとやりかねん一日中ずっと雨戸を閉め切って何をやってるのかもわからないどういう暮らしをしているのやら
お兄ちゃん頭おかしくなっちゃったのかなこれヒロミそういう言い方はダメよ
いやあれは本当にちょっとどうすぎてるひょっとしたら変質狂か何かかもしれんな
大丈夫なのそれ
早く自覚して医者にでも行ってもらわんことにはなんともな
The seconds crawl by, each tick of the clock compounding my agony.
I'm gonna have to censor things soon, aren't I?
Oh, good. I don't know.
I see
Why,
the
'cause there's
bed.
a bed?
I see the bed. I know what this means.
When I returned from the Ougai house, I was greeted by a silent, empty home. Saya had vanished without leaving any clue as to her whereabouts. Maybe not. It isn't rare for her to go out for walks at night. I often gone with her. However, such outings always take place in the middle of the night when no one is around and never last for more than 2 hours. Right now it's 5 in the morning. Soon the sky will begin to show the first light of dawn. Even if she left right before I returned, she's still been gone for almost half a day. Unable to sleep, I can only wait in anguish. I try to distract myself by painting more of the other rooms, but I couldn't concentrate on the work. If I had known this would happen, I would have left the Ougai house sooner. I wish I hadn't wasted time on Koji. If Saya doesn't return, the thought fills me with such panic that I want to tear my hair out. After its long absence, the terror of true loneliness is slowly crushing me. At last, the cowbell chimes and Saya's long-awaited "I'm home," sorry, she said that, rings out from the bottom of the stairs. As I jump out of bed in relief, all the mental stress that has built up through the night is released in a wave that threatens to sweep me off my feet. Saya says as she climbs the stairs.
さや、一体どこに？
My question trails off as I notice the thick bundles of paper that she's carrying under her arms.
それは？
文則のカルテとか手術の記録。今日は古巣の病院に行ってきたの。
Saya all but drops her bundles on the floor, sending papers flying everywhere. Pulling her favorite cushion over, she collapses into it and stretches luxuriously.
こんな夜中に T 台から歩いて戻ってきたのか。
ごめんね。本当はもっと早く帰れると思ってたんだけど、調べ出した。
She says, skillfully gathering the scattered papers together one by one.
結局全部持ち出してきちゃった。ああ、重かった。
Maybe I'm just tired, but I'm not understanding a word Saya's saying.
だからそんなもの持ってきてどうするつもりなんだ？
どうするって、もちろん調べるのよ。うちで時間かけてじっくり。
Oh, she replies, holding one MRI photograph after another up to the light. I don't know where to read. I can't hear it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
あら、何やってんだか。
At first I think she's just
She's
playing.
talking.
Oh, sorry.
No, no, she's just muttering to herself. Go on.
そうなんだ。
At first I think she's just playing around, but the occasional mutters of...
You can read those.
Oh,
He's
okay.
just quoting her.
Of better check this one. Oh, I see. And the likes as she separates photos into a growing pile next to her makes me think this might not be a joke after all. I'm sorry about that.
わかるのか？こういうの。
パパにいろいろと教わったから。なるほどね。そういうこと。これじゃあいつまで経っても直せないよね。
直せないのか？
人間のお医者さんじゃね。
Hello?
I can't tell if she's being serious or not.
私でもまだちょっと難しいかな。いろいろと試してからでないと。
Go.
I'm sorry, I'll pass.
Alright. she says offhandedly, even as her hands continue to shuffle papers. Watching more carefully, I realize that her eyes are scanning each page rapidly, so fast in fact that I was unable to notice it at first. Is it possible that Saya, a young girl, is trying to read? No, is actually reading my charts?
なあさや
She answers coolly, looking up from the charts.
今日はもう疲れたし寝ないか
God damn it.
海のりがそうしたいならそうする。
Saya replies with a grin. Tossing aside the papers she was sorting, she immediately starts to remove my clothes. I'm gonna make a pause right here so I know where to skip. Nope, not yet. I guess not.
ね
You could just play
え
out
寝
the
る
whole.
前に
Huh?
一回だけ
You could just play out the whole scene.
いいでしょ。
Well, yeah, I know that.
Okay.
Still recording. Contrary to her appearance, Saya's appetite for sex would put any adult to shame. You could even say it's a little unnatural. She's not just passionate, she also has unlimited stamina, making me wonder where her slender body gets all the energy from. Never satisfied with letting me feast on her to my heart's content. She always uses me to pleasure herself until I'm forced to tap out.
まあさやこう毎日続けてちゃ体に毒じゃないのか
海のりどこか具合が悪いの？
いや僕は別にちゃんと大人の体になってるし平気なんだけどでもさやはまだ
平気だよ。
She laughs playfully as she pushes me onto the bed, the familiar sweet sensation of her weight and skin rendering me helpless.
平気なわけないだろ今まで否認もしてないのに
Oh
For some,
my.
for some unfathomable reason, Saya is completely uninterested in such precautions. She doesn't just not use protection. She even insists that I ejaculate inside of her. Surely she must know the risks, which can only mean that she wants to get pregnant.
海のりはさ、さやに子供産ませるの嫌？
She begins staring into my eyes. How can I respond to that?
嫌も何もさやみたいに小さい体じゃ無理だってぼ
海のりが心配してることって割と的外れなんだけど。
Saya seems unsure how to reply, but not because she doesn't understand what I just said. Rather, the amused look on her face makes it seem as though I'm the one not getting it.
でもそれって海のりがさやのことを大事に思ってくれてるからなんだよね。それはそれで嬉しい。
She says suddenly, her smile glowing with innocence. By the time I break the spell of her angelic smile, Saya has undone my belt and removed my pants. You know what I can do? I can just switch it over to the black screen for a little while.
なおい
And just switch it back and forth.
さや
大丈夫。
You don't have to do it. It's going to be easy to censor.
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, it's not actually easy to censor it.
Oh,
Because
sorry.
it takes like 2 hours for it to render for some reason. She says teasingly as she bares my crotch and wraps her slender white fingers around me. I'm just gonna say me. I don't know if this is a good place to start back up, but let's go. She looks up at me, answering my confusion by smiling like she just pulled the greatest prank of her life. Her small tongue darts from her lips to lick away the last milky remnants around her mouth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, classic. This tongue was just licking, blah blah blah. It's not send a worrying jolt of pleasure to my brain.
だったら海のりだって心配ないでしょ。
いやまあ
Well, that's hardly the problem, but I have no idea how to respond. Yeah, here's this one again.
ダメだった？こういうのだと気持ちよくない？
Hearing the sudden nervousness inside his voice, I hastily stammer.
My cat is really into
十分
this.
No,
に
is
よ
he?
かった
Yeah, he just started purring.
Oh, well, at least he's not meowing. In fact, it felt so good that I thought I'd go crazy, but I can't say that.
でもさや何もあんなもの飲み込まなくたって
そんなあれはさやにちょうだいよ。
Suddenly distraught, Sai clings to me like a child who's just had her candy stolen from her.
海のりのは 滴だって残さずに欲しい。鞘の中に出してほしいの。
中にって。
So Saya really does want to bear my child. I'm not adverse to the idea, and I still think it might be too early, of course. There isn't much point in worrying about my reputation now, assuming that Saya and I will be left alone. I even welcome it. However, that only explains her appetite for normal sex. I still don't know why she wants to blah blah blah. Well, I suppose that's what's impure or taboo, differs from person to person. I can't simply apply normal values to Saya.
文則は嫌。
She gazes up at me pleadingly. How can I resist?
嫌なんかじゃないさ。さやさえそれでいいのなら、僕だって。
We'll pass as soon as the scene is over. No, after the scene is over.
Okay.
Like this whole segment.
Oh,
Saya
right.
smiles with relief and burrows contentedly into my chest.
文則大好き。
She purrs softly, speaking of purring.
Yeah, Puffer is going crazy.
With her body draped over mine, I become even more aware of how light and delicate she is. Can this tiny girl and I really live as husband and wife? How old does she look to him? Because, like, when it was going through a whole thing where, like, he first saw her, he was just like, child, child, child. He kept saying child, and now he's just doing all this stuff.
Husband and wife.
Yeah. The question runs through my head. I feel a pang of self-loathing. How can I be so afraid after all that's happened? Saya's feelings are so earnest. How can I not accept them? I need to resolve once and for all to rid myself of the useless trappings of morality. Saya
The
and I
music's good, though.
It's the same music that plays, like, all the time.
I know, it's just catchy, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's nice. There's no point in worrying about what others think anymore, although I suppose I'll still need to talk to Saya's guardian, of course. I seriously need to find Professor Ougai as soon as possible.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, there's the pass.
He needs to talk to her. Is he gonna adopt her? Sorry. By the time I drift to sleep in exhaustion's comforting embrace, all doubts about Saya's actions have vanished from my mind. Whatever the case, all that matters is that she's returned to me. "2 p.m. For a Suzumi Yosuke, this is the most fulfilling time of day. After seeing his wife and daughter off, taking care of the morning chores, and eating a leisurely lunch, it's finally time to sit down at his easel. He's not a particularly popular painter, and he would only hold an exhibition if he were hurting for money. However, the editorial design work he does on the side ensures that there's always enough to support his daily lifestyle. Along the salary his wife earns working for a magazine, they're able to pay their mortgage, send their daughter to school, and still have plenty left over. Yosuke's life is perfect, leisurely and absent of want. He loves his house, considering it is a symbol of his life. When he mows the lawn, polishes the windows and floors, and cleans the kitchen, toilet, and bath, he feels the same joy as he does when washing his own body. Just as he knows the length of his fingernails and the time since his last meal, he also knows everything about his house's condition, the status of every door, the freshness of every flower, the amount of ice in the ice tray, every last detail. This is his pride, and when he sits in his studio, smelling the turpentine and knowing that each element of his house is in perfect order, he is filled with the ultimate satisfaction. While trying to find the right combination of paints on his palette, he suddenly feels thirsty, but soon remembers that there isn't much orange juice left in the refrigerator. In fact, it's also about the time to stock up on bath additives and powdered soap. He could get everything at the supermarket when he goes to the shop for dinner, but it'll probably be pretty heavy.
What's powdered soap?
Probably powdered soap. Maybe
Oh,
you
okay.
pour it into the tub like a bubble bath.
Oh,
kind.
yeah, like, okay. I forgot to do baths over there.
Now then, where should I leave off to go shopping? He wonders idly as he heads downstairs to the kitchen. Just then, a waft of air tickles the back of his neck, bringing him to a halt in the middle of the hallway. A breeze coming from somewhere, impossible. Every window in the house is closed. Yosuke shut them during his morning cleaning. I don't know why I paused there, but... Yosuke enters the living room, searching for the source of the wind. Something stinks. It's the same pungent smell of fetid swampland that emanates from the Sakisaka's house. Sorry. Could the wind be carrying it from the yard next door? The window facing the Sakisaka yard is open, its curtains billowing loosely in the gentle breeze. There's a hole in the glass next to the lock. It looks strange, like it was melted by some chemical instead of broken. Someone must have reached through the hole to unlock the window. Yosuke stands paralyzed, his heart pounding with anger, and even more so with fear.
Supper time.
He listens carefully but hears nothing. Perhaps the intruder has already finished his business and left. But a burglar wouldn't have left the room untouched, would he? Maybe he heard Yosuke coming and hid somewhere. Yosuke realized that his still wet palette knife is in his right hand. He must have forgotten to put it aside before going downstairs. Puffer.
I heard
Making
him.
noises. Yeah.
I heard a ting too.
Oh, sorry about that. He stares nimbly at the knife for a moment, then decides that it's not enough protection.
Well, it's gonna have to do.
My cat keeps yawning and touching my trackpad for my laptop. Ugh. Instead, he grabs the ashtray sitting on top of the table, made of thick, solid glass. It is big and heavy enough to serve as a blunt weapon.
Well, yeah, blunt weapons are really good to use when, they have armor on. I think his knife would be a lot more effective against clothing.
The home that has cleaned the home that he has cleaned every inch of, that he has thought of as part of himself, now seems like an entirely different world. Keenly aware of the thumping of his heart, Yosuke looks around the living room and sees little that could be used as a hiding place. The intruder must have gone either to the guest room or through the dining room to the kitchen. Or is on the ceiling. The kitchen is close to the stairs. If there had been movement, Yosuke would have noticed it when he came down, which means that the guest room is the most likely place. He shuffles over to the guest room door and prepares to slide it open. But what is that stench? Could the breeze alone be carrying such a potent fetor? Ooh.
I don't know how to say that.
It's as if the odor is coming from inside the room. He steels himself and throws open the door. He steels himself. Oh, okay, I get it. I'm sorry. The straw-matted Japanese-style room is empty. There is a closet, but no one could fit in there. So the intruder already left. Yosuke relaxes, the exhaustion of sudden relief coming over him. And that's when something seizes his ankle. Classic. Mm-hmm. The instant he freezes in shock, his leg is yanked out from under him, sending him crashing to the floor. Stars explode behind his eyes as his head smacks against the door rail. The hand, if it can be called that, wrapped around Yosuke's ankle extends all the way back to underneath the living room sofa. There are barely 5 centimeters between the sofa and the floor, but the intruder is able to hide in that tiny space. It can't possibly be human. Before the screaming, Yosuke can regain his footing. Countless hand-like things seize his arms and legs, rendering him helpless. Oh, okay. The muffled, gurgling, voice-like sound is accompanied by the sensation of something cold and soft crawling on top of him. Yeah, don't be scared. With his throat already seizing up, the panicked Yosuke can't even scream properly. The hideous voice whispers in his ear. Thin tube-like appendages penetrate his ears and nose, wriggling deeper into his skull. Right before the horrifying sensation drives him mad, Yosuke loses consciousness. Are we continuing?
Nope, that's when we're gonna end it. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Thank you.